rolling like he was tonight?
Yeah, a ton, Pete. I think that's the key for the offensive line and the pass rush. We haven't had the run game anywhere near this efficient the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think. So to have both those guys, I thought Aaron ran excellent. Jamal was great. Both those guys, I think, combined for over 160 yards. That's a credit to them, a credit to the offensive line. I thought Steno had a really good plan this week. In the run game, I thought Matt was dialing them up and going back to calls. I just thought it was, an expert level way that Matt called it tonight. And then obviously we executed the way we needed to. I'm really proud of the guys up front.
Mike Spofford?
Yeah, Aaron, can you just talk about how you feel about where this team sits right now with the 3-game lead in the division, still in the hunt for the top record in the NFC?
Yeah, I like where we're at. I think we've had, obviously last week was a tough one and losing in overtime to a good football team, but to bounce back against a division rival in a game that could really put us in the driver's seat. We played the way we need to play. I said before the game, I believe it. If you want to be a great team, these are the kind of games you got to win. And I thought we went out there and set the tone on offense and the end of the last scrimmage, and we're efficient throwing the ball. And that just stayed steady the entire night. Obviously, our defense coming up with some big plays. Preston, I thought, had a really good game. And obviously around the ball, important plays, Z, strip sack, Savage with a couple picks was excellent. We got our hands on a number of footballs. It's tough to play in the elements sometimes. That's why we love the friendly confines of Lambeau Field in the wintertime, because there's a lot of elements, like I mentioned before, the footing, also the wind. We've had wind in the last 3 or 4 home games that makes it difficult to throw at times for guys who aren't used to this weather. But this is the type of weather we enjoy playing in, and to go up 3 now with 5 to play puts us in a really good position for our first goal, which is winning the North.
Rob Domofsky?
Aaron, I know your numbers are obviously trending toward, some of the best that you've ever had, but in terms of just command, comfort, just feel in the offense, where does this sort of rank for you in terms of just seasons that you've had like that? I mean, not using numbers necessarily as the barometer.
Yeah, that's tough, Rob, because I played in that other offense for so long. I knew it just inside and out. And I think the beauty in this year is the subtleties of simplicity that I feel like Matt implemented in the offseason. And it's really allowed me to feel super comfortable with the plan every week, with my responsibilities, with my checks. And I think that's why I've been playing well. Obviously, I've got my legs underneath me, and my health has been great, thanks to, the work I've put in, but also the way I've been protected this year. We've had, Tom just mentioned, 10 of the 11 games, 0 or 1 sack. For a soon-to-be 37-year-old, I mean, that's my dream. I mean, that's an amazing feeling to go home and not be feeling like a almost 37-year-old. And I've been feeling really, really good all season, so I appreciate those boys up front. But this was a really important game for us. I think we downplayed it in the right way to not put any added pressure on ourselves. But huge momentum for us winning this one as far as the division is concerned. And obviously we're in the mix for the top seed as well.
Brian Wood?
Aaron, back to that offensive line. Obviously, as you know, the Bears' defensive front has been what's really headlined that franchise the last few years. I'm not even sure the last time an offensive line did to that front what you guys did tonight. What did you see from those guys up front?
Yeah, I thought they played really good. I think the interior guys in the run game are very important against that front, and obviously the exterior guys on the passing game. And I thought, both Billy and Dave, Dave is just such a rock over there. You just have so much confidence with him on that side. But Mac, traditionally lines up on the offense's right. So tough task for Billy. I thought we did a nice job of just giving him a bunch of different looks. He's a premier pass rusher, one of the top players in the game. And you got to, put some different things in his face. Guys chipping him, body presence, movement, just so he can't get comfortable because he's a game wrecker. And I thought we did a great job up front. And then, I'll go back to it again, but I think schematically, we had a really good plan, and it was executed great, which the coaches don't have a part in. But the plan that was laid out in front of us, I think we all felt really good about. And I think Matt dialed up a really beautifully called game tonight.
Dan with Chicago Tribune.
Aaron, on the touchdown pass to Devontae to start things off, I wondered what your vantage point was through the entirety of that play.
You're not hearing him? Okay. Dan, we'll come back to you. Go ahead, Bill Huber.
Hey, Aaron, going back to what Wes is talking about, you having a liking of history. This is 100 wins now for you guys against the Bears. Obviously, you've been a part of 19, 20 counting playoffs. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, that's 20% of the wins, which is pretty special. It's been a great rivalry. I've been, obviously a fan of the game since as long as I can remember. A lot of my favorite childhood memories are tied to watching football on TV. So it's special to be a part of this rivalry. There's a few rivalries like this in all the sports, one or two in just about every league. And this is one of the premier ones, obviously, that the NFL has had forever. That's why we start off seasons playing each other. And it's fun to be a part of it. Proud to be just another one of the guys in the lineage of Green Bay quarterbacks. We've got an opportunity to lace them up against Chicago, and we've obviously won a good deal of my starts, so I feel good about where we're at. With Farby and me, I think we were down a decent amount in the series, and now we're up 5.
Aaron Nagler.
Aaron, I got 2 quick ones for you. First off, when you let it go to Tunyon, did you know that was for 50,000? And 2, have you been driving this kind of leaning into the empty format? You guys have been running a ton of empty lately. It's not something you were doing early on in the year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did not know it was 50,000 when I threw it to Tunyon. I just, I missed a similar play earlier to Devontae where I wasn't quite sure if I could pull up or throw on the run. I missed it inside by 7 yards. I mean, it was a terrible throw. And I looked over at Matt, and I was glad he went back to – it was a similar play. Bobby was running the same route that Tay ran, just to the opposite side. But I gave him 2 fingers, and I said, I'm not missing that twice. So I really liked that call from Matt. The empty formations, I think, are a product of some of the personnel that Chicago plays, and our success the last couple of weeks of doing it, because we can move guys around in different spots. They can be 1, 2, or 3 on a 3-man side, and 1 or 2 on a 2-man side. Marquez can go anywhere, and he's obviously a threat with his speed if he is at 2 or 3. So it's different looks for them, and we've just got a lot of different types of plays we can get to in those situations, which I think has allowed us to be efficient in those opportunities.
Real quick, David Bakhtiari is headed to Zoom Room 2 for those of you who want to join that. We'll continue. Let's try Dan with the Chicago Tribune again. Dan?
Aaron, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
On the touchdown pass to Devontae to start things off, I wondered what your vantage point was through the entirety of that play.
Yeah, I saw that they dropped 8 at the snap, so I knew I'd have a little bit of time. We ran a 2-man concept really to that side with Devontae and Robert. And I was about 50-50 whether Tay was going to stop his route and break it off at the top of the stem, which actually wasn't in the plan, but I thought he might make that reaction. He didn't. I went to Bobby right about to throw it. He slipped. And so I reset back in the pocket because we had done a nice job on the right side and doubled Khalil over there. And as I reset back in the pocket, I saw Devontae kind of roll behind Trevathan, and knew based on the pre-snap that we probably wouldn't have anybody on the left side who would disrupt a throw in that area. So I just tried to put it high, knowing Devontae's got such a great leaping ability, and obviously he came down with it.
We'll do 2 more. Tom Silverstein.
Aaron, so in 2 weeks you've played 2 top 10 defenses and scored 72 points and over 700 yards, but this game seemed like it was a little bit